Hello, everyone. It's Arthur here at Arthur Ease Your Mind. And look who I have here. The one, the only, Mel Arthur, the Aloha Shirt Psychic.
Hello, everybody.
Right from Hawaii himself.
I'm not as red as I was when I did it. I did a little short video from Hawaii the other day. And I had just been body surfing with my great niece. She took surfing lessons and she stood up on the board. She's 11. I was like, yes. And then one day we took my friend Jade. Hi, Jade. Hi, Pokey. Hi, family. She got us to the luau that she MCs. Wonderful job. She's an awesome MC. Our host, I should say, at the Sheraton in Poipu. And then she got us tickets on a boat to go halfway around the island from north, south, east, from east all around up to the north to the Kalalau Valley. You don't know what I'm talking about. But anyway, so on that boat ride, we did snorkeling. We pulled up to a waterfall. So the video I did is after being, body surfing, being on that boat, snorkeling, being in the ocean, and I was really red. And that was with an SPF of 50, so it's kind of wearing off. I knew it would, but I don't bake in the sun. But in Hawaii, you have to be very careful because after 15 minutes, you will be a crisp. So,
and I want to share with everyone something that Mel shared.
Oh, this is so cool. And the story of this is when we get out on the water, Hawaiian, I always ask permission to go into the ocean. And I said, please give us a sign that Spirit is with us. And when I kept saying that, the boat members were diverting, and there was this whole pot of dolphins. And they're spinner dolphins. And one was reaching and turning. A spinner dolphin, but I couldn't get it out. But there was this pot of dolphins around us, and it was so incredible. It was amazing. So
I just had to share that to prove that he was actually there.
I asked Spirit to send us a sign, and we got it. This is my favorite spot on the island is the Nepali coast. It's beautiful, but there's no car. You can only go by boat because that side of the island. But here is what I'm talking about. The beauty of it is just incredible. Look at that.
Wow.
And here, now there's me doing the shaka. Gotta have the shaka, right? So there's a lookout if you go like north, south, east, west. You go on the west side of the island up to past Hanapepe, and you go up to the Waimea Canyon. It's the Grand Canyon of the Pacific. And you keep going up, you'll drive to the Kalalau Lookout, and it looks out over the north side of the island. So we drove up that day, and it was cloudy, and we asked the clouds to move over, and they did, and we got a glimpse. So when we were on this boat ride, we went as far as the Kalalau Valley, so we saw it from down below, and it's just one of my favorite spots on the island. It's really a neat place. So where I'm showing you actually is part of the Kalalau Valley. Oh, wait, let me find it. And then I won't bore you with my pictures. But, Hawaii is just absolutely beautiful. My favorite island is Kauai. Mount Waialeale is one of the wettest spots on the planet. It gets over 800. It gets probably around anywhere from 400 to 600 inches of rainfall annually. And when it rains, the waterfalls open up, and it's just absolutely beautiful. I was just like, wow. I mean, I didn't even look at politics. I didn't do anything. We came up to this waterfall, and my iPhone got wet because when the front of the boat went under the waterfall, I was standing there, and I forgot I left my cell phone on the bench. It got wet. But it still worked. So, hey, I'm just looking for the Kalalau Valley. Well, this is a picture of it, but it's not a very good picture of it. But that's the Kalalau Valley. It's hard to see, but this is part of the Kalalau Valley. And so that's what I was showing you. So it was really neat. You know, I'm Mr. Hawaii. I can't talk enough about it. So my nieces had a wonderful time. You know, on Kauai, there's the Grand Canyon of the Pacific. Waimea Canyon is right there. Waia means fresh water. Pale means cliffs. So the Nepali, na is plural. So the cliffs, that's the Nepali coast. And as I said, we did drive up to Kalalau, and the clouds parted. And so from the top looking over the other side of the island, it looks like this. It wasn't a good picture, but you can just barely see it. And that's very sacred up there. That's a very sacred valley. So a lot of spiritual things. You know, here it is. There it is from the top. You see?
Nice.
The pictures I showed you were from the ocean side. Yeah. So anyway.
I'm going to change the name of the show to Travels with My Aunt.
Travels with Auntie Mel. I would suggest everybody going to Kauai. You know, it was very spiritual for me. We saw the honu. They come up on the beach at night, and the tourists were bothering them, the turtles. And so the police patrol the beach and tell them, leave them alone. So if you all go to Hawaii and you see wildlife, leave it alone. You know, we were in the ocean taking pictures of dolphins, but you leave them alone. These turtles, they come up on the beach to bask at night, and then people bother them, and they sleep a lot, and it just disturbs them. There's one, you see it?
Yeah.
And they're huge. They're very slow. They're kind of docile. There's the day I got all the sun. See how beet red I was? But by the next day, I was okay. I didn't blister. So see all the tourists there. They can only get so close, but look at all the turtles.
Yeah.
So when you go to Hawaii, please honor the land. Don't misuse it. You know, I see a lot of people, tourists there, feeling like they're entitled, and they have no clue about the Hawaiian people or the Hawaiian Islands. So when you go to the islands, try to learn a little bit about Hawaii, its history, and the Hawaiian people. They're wonderful people. And they have some wonderful things on the islands. Mm-hmm. So, you know, like, you don't throw anything in the ocean. You ask permission to go in it. You know, it's very reverent. And so please just be nice to the island, and it'll be nice to you.
Yes.
And for those of us who, you know, are inclined, when you get off the plane anywhere in Hawaii, you'll feel something and you won't know what it is. It'll just feel uplifting. It'll feel good. That's called mana. So the island has a lot of mana, specifically Kauai, because it's concentrated. Because in my opinion, Kauai is the piko of the universe. The piko means the navel, the center of the universe, in my opinion. And so here's a sunset. I love sunsets. And isn't that cool? Nice. I got some really neat pictures. So anyway, there you go. I'm done.
We'll have to put them up.
People say I talk too much about travel, and I go, it's our channel. We get to talk about whatever we want. So there you go.
And speaking of travel,
Benicia, Peru, September 16th to the 24th. I do have an opening. It might be too late, but if you're interested, let me know. And then Iceland, I had one opening and I sold it today. I can see if I can get another one, but I don't know. It's very iffy at this point. So anyway. And then Benicia, California in November with Linda Grendel.
I forgot to put the banner up for it. Sorry.
Oh, that's all right. You can just go to
LindaGrendel.com.
LindaGrendel.com/events. I'll take you there. I think there's 55 tickets we sold, so it's almost sold out. So if you're interested, book it now because it will sell out really quick. So,
and next week I'm going to get a lemonade stand. So if anybody, never mind.
Well, you know, we've got a lot. We'll have other things coming up. So
I think it's great. You needed that vacation after all that you have been through this year. I was so glad you went.
Well, I call my nieces, my niece, my great niece, she's 35 or 36. She's just the apple of my eye. And her daughter is 11, who's my great niece. And they had a tragedy in the family right before Christmas. Brittany's partner passed away. He had just turned 40. And that's Scarlett's dad. Oops, my great niece's dad. And so they had been through so much. So I called them a couple months ago and I said, we're going to Hawaii, non-negotiable. And my great niece is a respiratory therapist. She had just started a new job and she didn't know when she could get away. The only day she could get away was August the 3rd through the 10th. And we have a timeshare there, but we couldn't get it. I didn't think I was going to find anything on the island. But I said to my guides, help me out here, guides. This is important. So I found a 2-bedroom condo, 1 bathroom, no pool, but we were like 100 feet away from the beach. So we just had to go to the ocean.
Who needs a pool when you have the ocean?
Right. And I got it for $2,500 for 7 days. And that was our treat to my nieces. They paid their own plane fare. But we had the best time. It was so healing. And I want to thank Jade Ali and her husband Pokey for making it so wonderful. I'm going to cry.
Is his last name Mon?
I'm sorry?
Is his last name Mon?
No. It's Patah, actually.
No.
They're one very spiritual. You know, JD and I, we hang out a couple of days and we call it our Unga Bunga, our spiritual stuff. And then, you know, we have fun. The last day they packed a picnic lunch. We went up to Hanalei at the pier and we had this wonderful lunch. We did some pule. JD did some pule, some chanting, some prayers in the ocean. And it was really neat, you know, and Pokey is wonderful. Her daughters, her grandkids. This one is like, I think 9 or 10 and one is 3 or 4. You know, they're living on an island. You should see these kids in the ocean. They're like champions. They're so cool. So anyway, a nice hello, Tara, if you're watching. Hi, Tylee, if you're watching. Hi, Tori, if you're watching. Hi, Brandon, if you're watching. And hi, kids.
I think it's great. Like I said, with all the you went through, I was so glad you got to go. Well,
you know, I wasn't really supposed to do anything goofy in the water, but you know, Scarlett was surfing, and I'm like, I am going body surfing.
Oh,
my niece said, okay, do it. And I had my hearing aids, and I said, here, take these. And I got in the water and I said to the ocean, please let me have permission to come in. Send me a good wave. I caught that wave and I went right up on the shore. I got back to the condo and, you know, I showered off a little on the beach. But when I took a shower, I had sand in places I had forgotten about. I'm like, how did it get there?
TMI, you know? TMI.
Right? But anyway.
Your niece will always remember that as well as her daughter.
I just talked to her right before the show.
You're very generous. I am happy you had a good time.
I just talked to her, my great niece. She's 11 right before the show. And I said, so did you have a good time in Hawaii? And she's like, yes, I did, Uncle Mel. We want to go back. And I'm like, we're going to go back. No worries. So, and JD's grandkids are 2 boys. The last day they go, do you have to go home? Can you please stay? Call the hotel. Grandma, call the hotel. You know, maybe they could stay a few extra days. They didn't want us to leave. It was so sweet.
And you're going, I have to go home. I have a dog to worry about.
Right. I would have stayed.
Oh, I know.
To get back to go to work. So anyway. All right.
So now that we're down the travel log, just let everybody know we're not doing personal tonight. We're doing politics. Also, we're not doing conspiracy theories. We're just doing good questions. Enough said. And if anybody needs to get a hold of Mel, below to contact Mel, meldor.com, or call 847-590-5411, or travel to the island of Kauai and he'll be on one of the beaches.
surfing or sitting back talk. You know, in Pidgin we say we're talking stories. Like we said, we just chew the fat, if you will. And I got to practice some Pidgin. I love to hear Pidgin. It's like it's now it's designated as its own language, and I learned a lot of Hawaiian words. And I've decided I'm taking a Spanish class on Thursday night with Deanne, but I think I'm also going to sign up for a Hawaiian class. I want to really learn the language. So
I know every curse word in every language.
I don't know if there are any Hawaiian actually, but I can do some.
It's called haole.
Oh no, but haole means actually that came about because ha is breath, ole means.
I know, I'm teasing.
No, but the reason is, you know, at least the story I got was the ancient Hawaiians, when they would greet each other, they would share ha, they would share breath. And the people who came there, the missionaries refused to do that. And so the Hawaiians called them HAOLE, no breath, because they refused to share breath. And because they were light, they looked like they had no breath. So that's anyway, that's the story. And I'm sticking to it.
And I'll take, never mind. I was going to ask Alex for some questions. Okay.
Oh, here we go. Ready?
And if you, yes. Christine Weems, does Kamala know about the vote tampering? Will it make a difference in her decision not to run?
You know, they're not going to come and start making a bunch of allegations until they have proof. And I think that both she and Biden are playing it the best way they can play it, because they're not going to give Trump any fodder to say it's a witch hunt, they're liars. I think they're just waiting and let the facts speak for themselves. My feeling is she will not run again. I do think Newsom is going to run, and if Newsom runs, he's going to win. And so that's my prediction.
And I had a hit. Actually, I was watching Lynn was doing a show talking about Kamala, and asked if she would be president, and it said no. Asked if she would be Secretary of State, it said no. I pulled mine out and I said, "Will she be on the Supreme Court?"
I'm not touching that. I am not touching that.
What?
I pulled mine out. All right, good for you.
No, I'm just saying that I felt
it was a bad joke. But
okay. I didn't. I'm part Polish. That's all said. Just kidding. I'm not.
You're very smart. You're very smart.
Thank you. But anyway, no, I felt Supreme Court justice.
Oh, wow.
Possibility for her.
See, I kind of thought Secretary of State, but all I can tell you is she will have a really high appointed position in a presidential cabinet. So,
so we'll go from there. Next question. Hi, Laura Wright. Hello, you two wonderful people. What is the tea on Vance? Is he plotting something in the background, 25th Amendment, or does he support what is going on?
Oh, he supports everything that's going on. You know, I think he might be thinking 25th Amendment, but my feeling is he's been advised not to go down that road.
Well, the 25th Amendment, he's the only one who can start it, but also all the cabinet members have to join in, and I don't feel that happening.
Right, exactly. But people are asking about him being president. If he is, it's not long, because I see him impeached.
I never see it. I'm sorry.
I'm sorry, you don't see what?
I never saw him. Like I said, I always see him on the Maybelline,
right.
Billboard. That's it.
That's how I see it too. Trump, it's just, somebody asked me today about if he'd finish his term, and I said no. And she said something that we've been saying. She said, well, did you see his feet? And I said, yeah. And she's like, it's more than veins. I said, right. And she said, you know, it looked to me like congestive heart failure. She's in medicine. And I said, yeah.
Yeah, we've been saying that, and kidneys and brain and everything.
Usually when the swelling gets that bad, it's kind of like Katie bar the door. So I think they all know that he's been ill and that he's losing it a bit, but they're afraid to go against him. Or maybe they're just waiting for him to croak, and then it's going to be like vultures on the gut wagon. They're all going to want a piece of the carcass left behind. In other words, the pecking order. They're all going to want to be, you know, top dog.
And Eric and Don Jr. will be sitting with scissors cutting pieces of the suit so they can sell it.
It probably wouldn't even be the suit. They would just say it was.
Well, exactly. Well, they did that with that suit when he's for his mugshot. Supposedly, they cut up the suit and sold it. And people bought it.
And along with the gold toilet and the gold gym shoes and the Bible upside down.
Oh, speaking of Bible upside down, there's a question up here that really is driving me crazy. That gay marriage is going up to the Supreme Court with Kim Davis.
Oh, wait, run that by me again?
Kim Davis has been appealing all this stuff about how she was treated. And she's got to the Supreme Court, and one of the questions they're going to be asking is, should we get rid of gay marriage?
Yeah, but Kim Davis wouldn't have any recourse to talk about gay marriage at the Supreme Court because she was arrested.
I'm just saying the way that you know the family law, whatever they're called, they're very shrewd how they're doing it.
Well, but this court would say to Kim Davis, okay, but you know, they might say it was her religious belief not to do it. But yet I don't think they'll touch gay marriage because the gay marriage isn't the issue. It was her issue would be.
I understand that. I'm just saying there was a question here and it's been in the news. So
what is the news saying? And what does the question say?
I can't find the question now, but it was up here. But it was also about gay marriage may be up for discussion with the Supreme Court. And
well,
you know,
she can try all she wants, but they're not going to commute her sentence. And guess what? She broke the law.
The woman who was married 3 times and had children when she was married to other people.
Exactly. And she's going to talk to us about marriage. Here. Let's see. Supreme Court formally asked to overturn same-sex marriage. Let me see here. I'm looking. See if I can find it.
Mm-hmm.
She just wants to be in the news again.
Well, it's more than that.
They're using her, but if they overturn gay marriage, it will be. I mean, what happens to those of us that are married? You know, let's see.
Okay.
Hold on a minute. I just found it. New York Post. Well, New York Post is a conservative anyway. She petitioned the Supreme Court to revisit its landmark decision on same-sex marriage, slamming the ring as legal fiction. I'm sure that she has that. What's the name of the organization? Did you say Arthur behind her?
I forget the name of it, but they're like Focus on the Family or one of those type of organizations.
Right. Well, I mean, she can ask all she wants, but I don't think it's the Supreme Court's going to make a decision on it. But I think what they have is what they're going to try to do is, in other words, they're going to pull some shenanigans, I feel, where some gay people will try to get married and they'll refuse licenses, or they'll do that, or there'll be some state that'll try to overturn gay marriage, so it'll go to the Supreme Court. This is a litmus test to see how far they to see what they can get by with.
Yeah, all I can say is that Kathy Bates in Misery wore the outfit better.
There you go. I agree.
I just had to get that because it was on my mind all day. Okay. Will the student loan save program be held up in court, keeping it in place till after the Orange Menace and the circus are out? What will happen to student loans when they are out?
Well, I mean, even if Trump tries to say no more student loans and the court upholds that, you know, once he's gone, I see an executive order coming saying that we're going to really reduce the interest on these student loans because it boils down to usury. I mean, And I see a different court saying, okay, that these banks can't charge these high interest rates on student loans and forgiving many of them who have made an attempt to pay them back. Now, if you just didn't pay them back, the court's going to say, no, wait a minute. But if you've really struggled to pay them back and you're having a hard time meeting, you know, the loan because of the interest rates and all that, then the court at some point would say, no, they paid enough back. Those loans are forgiven. But that's then. Right now, it's going to be bad news for a while. But whatever the court does on this,
it's reversed.
It will be overturned. It'll be reversed.
I feel student loans will be forgiven again.
But not now.
No,
once
will be forgiven again. I want to say probably around the fourth quarter of 2026. So we'll see.
Oh, I just got a flash that along with Marjorie Taylor Greene, Kim Davis is going to be arrested by the fashion police.
I would just like to know who lit the fuse on her tampon.
I'm sorry, say again.
Speaking of Kim Davis, who lit the fuse on her tampon?
I thought that's what you said. I think that, you know, she's just raising her ugly head again, and it bit her, you know, where before, and it's going to bite her 5 times as hard now. Because I think one of her husbands is going to come forward and talk about what a whack job she is.
Aloha, after Dems get control, what will they probably try to fix first?
Well, not
the Rose Garden.
Because, well, Trump will veto everything that they try to do. So it's going to be, but that makes him a lame duck president, so he ain't going to get anywhere with it.
You know, between the ballroom and everything else that he's doing, it looks like he doesn't want to leave, you know?
Of course. You know, he's
and then they'll build a mausoleum in the back and they'll charge everybody to go see it.
He's planning something to try to stay in office, but it's not going to work. And what about him placing police departments under federal control in Washington, D.C.? I don't know. I'm sorry. I don't think he can do that. And the National Guard, him sending it to cities.
Temporarily, you can't get it permanently, number one. Number two, that's in case there's an emergency. The crime rate has gone down. So,
well, he's doing it with Democratic cities, and I think he's using like L.A. and Washington, D.C. as a litmus test for his martial law. And you know, he's going to try it in Chicago, but we're saying, bring it on, let him try it, because it ain't going to work. Yeah. It won't work.
I see it all blowing up in his face.
Well, if that went to the Supreme Court, I think they would overturn that, because that is totalitarianism.
Yep. In Texas, Ken Paxton wants to arrest Beto and his organization called Powered by People for raising money to help the Dems who left the state. Is he safe?
Well, the organization didn't do anything illegal. He can try.
Ken Paxton is there's a mic. He's going to talk into it to try and get some press, you know?
It's saber rattling.
Mm-hmm.
Ken Paxton's going to end up in jail, by the way,
for a long time. Yeah. Voices from the Swamp. Will Europe be able to save contraceptives stored in Belgium after U.S. aid shut down? USA threatened to burn 9.7 million in birth control pills and other contraceptives to spite those in need. Well, they let all the food spoil.
Well, if they did that, they will do it. But the reason they're going to do it is you know, it's kind of a wink and a nod to those people who are anti-birth control. But my big question is, you know, it's by a bunch of white, bigoted old men. But my question is, so they do that. Okay, in this country, who's going to take care of those babies when they're born? You know, the Republicans won't. So they probably will destroy the birth control pills and other contraceptives. What are they going to say? Abstain from sex? Because those politicians certainly aren't.
Release the files. Yeah, of course.
There you go. All those files are going to come out, I'm telling you.
Oh, Big time. Bigly. Okay. What's going to happen with this Washington, D.C., 850 officers and agents and protesters? I hope nobody get hurt or die. Thank you, Mel and Arthur.
I don't understand the question.
There's going to be protesters in Washington. What's going to happen with all these officers and agents? Is them going to get hurt with upcoming protests?
Well, there's going to be a lot bigger protests coming all over, everywhere. But what are they protesting is my question.
Trump. I mean, there was a protest here last weekend on Saturday.
Right.
Thousands of people. It was not even covered in the press. Right.
Well, Trump's, but he's going to try to call in the National Guard. So my light bulb just went on. In the future, they might even organize some protests saying that they didn't, so that he could have recourse to call in the National Guard. Say, look what I did. I stopped it all.
Yeah, just like January 6th. You had them all come in on January 6th, right?
That's right. That's right. So,
sorry.
No, I agree.
Will Stephen Miller flee the country after felon 45 is dragged out of office?
I don't see him fleeing the country. I see him under investigation, and I see
him under a rock hiding.
And I see him indicted, and I see him going to jail. That's what I see. No other country would probably take him. They're going to be like, no, we're not going to give you asylum. Go somewhere else. That's what I see.
There might be one or two.
Unless some godforsaken place nobody would ever want to go. Mm-hmm. Like maybe Mars.
Well, him and Elon can go there together. Senator Wyden has found over 4,000 wire transfers from Trump to Epstein, totaling over $1 billion. Shocking. What will come from this?
Trump's going to say it was a witch hunt. It's not true. It's fake news. I didn't do anything. But they're also going to come out even with more wire transfers and have proof that there was definitely money going to Epstein.
It's clear. It's going to be taller than the Tower of Babel.
It's going to be damning. I'm telling you, it's going to be like an atomic bomb.
And I feel in time there will be justice for the victims.
Well, that's why he's pulling the crap with the National Guard. It's a diversion because he's trying to wag the dog to get the eyes off the Epstein files, like the magician in the tarot deck doing something here, nagling here.
It's what I always call weapons of mass distraction.
It won't work.
Okay, thanks, Laura Wright. Will Tommy Tuberville win the gubernatorial election in Alabama, or will he end up in trouble, or both? Thank you.
Let me look him up. What do you think?
I don't think he's going to win.
I don't either. Let me see. I'm looking.
I was getting him mixed up with Grassley, but no, Tuberville's. I don't feel like getting him.
Let me look. I'm looking. So he's running for governor?
It's a gubernatorial election. Yes, Alabama.
He's running against. Wait, who's the governor now in Alabama? I don't know.
I don't know.
What's that woman, right? Is she retiring or what?
No, you're talking about Sarah Huckabee Sanders. She's Arkansas.
That's Arkansas, but there's a woman who. Hold on. I think, yes, Kay Ivey. She's a governor now. She's horrid too, but I wonder if she's running, or maybe she's. I don't know if she's leaving or whatever.
I don't know. I'm just going to say, to answer the question, I don't see him winning.
I don't either. Not at all.
Hi, Annie. Hi, Arthur and Mel. Will the Rose Garden ever be restored to the beautiful garden it once was before Trump ruined it? Thanks.
Well, he wants to put a ballroom or something there.
No, he wants the ballroom to go where the East Wing is, and behind is just flat. He wants to put statues up where the rose garden was.
Of himself. Well, I don't know if he'll get the money or the approval to do the ballroom. That's number one. And number two, if he does it, they'll never use it. He might use it as a ballroom, but once he's gone, they'll use it as something else. Where's the Oval Office? In the East Wing or the West Wing? I don't even know.
West Wing.
Okay.
The East Wing is usually used by the First Lady.
And I feel like Melania is never there. And at some point, I feel like the Rose Garden will be restored, no matter what he puts there. So
exactly, in time. Well, maybe instead of being under the rotunda, they can have it in a ballroom. Just kidding.
But I see legislation being passed that no president by executive order will be able to change the White House in any way, shape.
See, that's why I'm so surprised at this.
Unless it's a supermajority by Congress and by the House. I see.
Unfortunately, the House, Congress is him at the moment. So that's.
Oh, I know that. But then it'll get tied up in lawsuits forever.
Well, hello, Arthur Mel. Do you see Ohio and/or Indiana redistricting? Both states are blood red already.
Well, Texas is going to do it. Abbott's going to find a way because they'll gain seats, so he thinks. But if he does it, then states like California are going to do it.
Oh, and your guy in Illinois.
That's right. And then what's going to happen is they're going to say, oh, but they can't do it because we had a reason and they didn't. If it goes to the Supreme Court, I don't know what the Supreme Court will say.
Oh, look, it's just like them saying, oh, they left the state so they can't vote. Well, they left Congress so they couldn't vote on the Epstein files. So
right.
What's the difference?
Well, he's going to try to have Paxson arrest them, but go ahead, arrest them because it won't hold up. That'll be dismissed.
No, the more they get arrested, the better chances they get reelected.
Bingo. Or if Abbott has Paxson arrest all those Democrats that left the state, it's not going to look good. I can tell you that right now. You know, all this crap they're pulling, it's just really making people mad, and they want to polarize people even more. But they're polarizing this little group already, but everybody else is starting to fall away one by one. Even people that like Trump now aren't liking him. So, you know, it's like Lena Rodriguez says, it happens in small pieces. It's not all of a sudden nobody's liking him. It's chipping away.
But it's like when, you know, these people are starting to realize, yeah, I voted for Trump because he's going to get rid of all the immigrants. Oh, I didn't know he's going to get rid of grandmothers and kids in wheelchairs with brain cancer.
Well, what did you expect? You said all the immigrants. Hello.
Yeah, why can't it be Melania?
Yeah, right. Well,
with Einstein.
Right.
Hi, y'all. Will Jasmine Crockett lose her seat?
I don't think so.
No, I don't see. I at the moment, like all this stuff is fluid. I don't feel she's losing her seat. If she does, the seat she has, she'll get another one.
I think people are getting nervous about the House and the Senate, right?
Mm-hmm.
Janet Crockett's going to go places, I'm telling you.
Jasmine, yeah.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
She's in Texas, right? Yes. I mean, if they redistrict everything, but I'm going to tell you something. She is, you know, Jasmine Crockett will rock it. She's going to rock it. I'm telling you.
Yeah.
She's not going to take a back seat. I can tell you that right now.
No, not at all. Will the weather reporting agencies ever be back where they were?
Yes, and telling the truth after Trump is gone. Yes. A lot of these things that got doged, that is the new verb that got doged, will be back again. You know, like the EPA, I see once Trump is gone, really stringent legislation in this country to help curb climate change. A lot of these things that have been cut under Doge will come back. You know, Trump is going to blame Musk. Well, if Trump is blaming Musk, then why doesn't Trump undo it? He
blame himself.
Musk to get what he wanted. And Elon Musk knows that now.
Yeah, even like all the credit protection bureaus and stuff, they'll get reinstated. The Texas Senate passed the redistricting bill without Democrats. Will it be legal?
I hear no.
No. That's why they need them.
If it goes to SCOTUS, if it goes to Texas Supreme Court, but then it goes to U.S. Supreme Court, and the U.S. Supreme Court rules they can do that, which I doubt they will, then other states are going to do it too.
Yeah. Crazy. Please give prediction about Washington, D.C.
Predicting what?
Eventually, it does become a state.
Well, I mean, Trump is right now saying he's calling in the National Guard because the crime rate is higher than in Colombia or something. I don't think he did a
statistics. Yeah, but the gun laws are also different in those states, in those countries.
I don't think he did his statistics correctly because it's not true. He's using that as just a diversion to take everybody's mind off of the Epstein files, and he's going to try to take over police departments with the National Guard in certain cities that are Democratic. I'll bet you $1 to a donut he will not do it to a city who's Republican. How much you want to bet?
10 cents.
But it's not going to work. It's not going to hold up,
yeah,
because the courts are going to say you just can't take over a city. Well, the crime, the this, the that. But is there a law in the books that says that? I don't know, but I doubt it. So it's really obstruction, and it's really abuse of power.
Since Putin is a war criminal, shouldn't he be arrested if he goes to Alaska?
Not under the Trump administration. They won't do it.
Yeah. Well, the Trump administration is not recognizing the court, The Hague.
Correct. Correct. But the next one will.
Hello, Mel and Arthur. Hi, artist. Do you see what's going to happen with Yam Tits threatening to take over DC? I guess that's Trump. DC, Chicago, and New York for starters.
Well, if he can take over New York, he knows that most New Yorkers are Democratic, you know, and so is Chicago. And it's just what I just said.
Yeah.
That it's a litmus test to see if he can get his martial law and all that stuff passed, but it's going to blow up.
I don't see it happening.
I mean, Chicagoans are like, bring it on. You know?
Hi, Firefly. Hello, Mel and Arthur. Do you know the future of Bernie in politics? He is speaking to many red state areas and hopefully changing minds for the good. Yeah, he's going where angels fear to tread.
Minds are being changed, but Trump is slowly trying to take over everything to become a dictator to keep the Democrats out. And he's trying this really hard before the midterms. But it's going to backfire, I'm telling you.
It's not going to happen. But as far as Bernie, he's going to be doing what he does until they close the lid.
Oh, Bernie's not going to stop. He's not going to back off.
No.
I see a bunch of people revolting against Trump, a whole group of people. I don't think they'll storm the Capitol, but it's going to be like this, I don't want to use the revolution, but the protests and the pushback, and it's going to get huge, huge. And it's going to be like at least 70% of Americans that are going to be like, we don't want this. Even some MAGAs don't want it.
No. Spirit animal. Okay, that came and went fast.
Well, Hurricane Aaron hit Florida. Well, it's a tropical storm right now, but it will become a hurricane, and it will hit.
Maxwell is reported to have been granted a work release. Is this the last stop before pardon? Will the pardon be granted this year?
Here again, that's a litmus test to say, let's give her a work release. Let's let that be where it is for a while. So then when she
everything become the new normal.
So when she is pardoned, then nobody's going to be up in arms about it.
Oh,
I think
there are going to be many people up in arms.
You know what frosts me or burns me, kind of about that tall. No, what burns me is that, they talk about right to life. They talk about you know, anti-abortion. They talk about they're not right to life. No, otherwise they wouldn't be letting people starve. You know, they just want to control what a woman can do with her body. But yet they let a convicted sex trafficker, child molester out of jail, are thinking about it, and nobody, and they're all for it.
You say, oh, she might be an innocent victim.
BS.
At the same time, Hegseth is saying, you know, that group he belongs to, you know, women shouldn't be able to vote or hold positions of power in politics.
I rest my case. Mm-hmm. But yet they're worried, and they try to dictate to a woman that she can't terminate a pregnancy, but yet right to life, but yet nobody's going to take care of those children. They talk about children rights, but yet they want children to go to work. They've cut school programs so the kids can.
They want children picking the blueberries. Come on.
They let a convicted sex trafficker, child molester out of jail or on a work release program. Most people that are convicted under those laws can't come within 50 feet of a child. You know, so that hypocrisy, I'm telling you, there are politicians from both sides that are going to start speaking out loudly against this. Mm-hmm. And they should. They really should.
Yep. Hurricane Aaron, we talked about. Hi, Arthur and Mel. Like you say, weapons of mass distraction. Newsom meets with Texas Democrats and more trials going on and other things that Trump doesn't want the people to know.
Correct. Mm-hmm. And ultimately, the media, at least MSNBC and other media outlets, are going to start to report it, specifically when they see Trump losing a lot in popularity. But then, you know what, with some of these media outlets, it'll be too late. It'll be, oh, now you're going to go back to reporting what should have been reported, but yet you didn't. And so it's not going to be good for a lot of the media outlets either. What'll really survive is social media, like stuff like Midas Touch and all that kind of stuff.
And Mel Dorr, the Aloha Chair psychic.
I'll be around.
Picking sand. But I said picking sand out of places.
I got that.
Hi, David K said on the weekend show that she current
that the current
administration is looking to destroy a $700 million satellite that takes in global weather info. Will this happen? Actually, I have heard this, and I don't feel they'll be able to follow through with it.
They'll try, but I don't see it going anywhere. Mm-hmm. And then they can say, well, we didn't know. Yeah, because you destroyed the satellite.
Yeah.
Just throw paper towels. That's all. Just throw paper towels. That's Trump's answer to climate change. Throw paper towels.
This has orange stains on it. Never mind. Hegseth is facing heat. He belongs to a right-wing church that wants to repeal the 19th Amendment. Will this continue to upset Americans?
Totally. Hold on, let me check something. Totally.
This is what I was telling you about, you know, take away the vote.
Hold on a minute. Yeah, it's not going to work because it's discriminatory. Right. The 19th Amendment prohibits government from denying the right to vote based on sex. They might try with sexual orientation, but that won't work either. You know, women, maybe a few MAGA women won't say anything, but women are going to be outraged or outraged enough about the whole right to their body. And now it's not going to fly. They'll try. You know, they're trying to chip away at the Constitution. What they want this country to be is a small group of white, older people that tell everybody else what to do, like an American apartheid, like it was in South Africa. Mm-hmm. But the same that happened in South Africa will happen here. You know, the American apartheid will end a lot sooner than later.
And what can we all do about it?
Speak up.
The Congressional Switchboard, 202-224-3121. There's also 5calls.org. It will tell you how to get a hold of your local representatives. They give you templates. They give you phone numbers. They give you snail mail addresses, everything.
What was that? 202-224, what was it?
202-224-3121 is the Congressional Switchboard. I call it once a day.
I think everybody should call it. Maybe we should arrange that everybody call it at a certain time and it would just flood it.
I would like them to take the counts, though, as to who's calling, you know. And then before I was going here, 5calls.org. There's also this one, Goods Unite Us. It's the one that tells you what companies donate to which party. It's very surprising. And there's also electiontruthalliance.org. So make a note of those places and make your voices heard.
There you go.
Will Trump and Melania always have their portraits in the White House and the presidential gallery? Or will they be denied this honor?
I see the portraits taken down at some point a lot sooner than later, once Trump is gone.
Yeah. Yeah. Will the U.S. ever regain the Allies' 45 lost this country in time?
The answer is yes, but they're going to demand that there's some sort of legislation passed that in case a rogue president ever comes to power again, that things like this cannot happen.
Right. That's what I'm saying, in time.
That's what I see, in time. Because even with a new president, and not J.D. Vance, but once the Dems or an independent gets in, they're going to do away with every presidential decree or dictate or whatever that Trump issued. They'll all be overturned, every single one of them. And I think then those presidential decrees, I just see legislation passed where the president can't have that kind of power to, you know, to make some kind of, I call them decrees. I don't know what the correct
executive
word is.
orders.
Executive orders. That power will be limited. It'll have to go because it really steps around Congress.
Yeah. Jackie wants to know, hi, Arthur and Mel, why did so many Democrats, senators, support to send more arms to Israel? I don't know when this happened, so I'm not going to answer it.
I don't either. I will research it and then I'll answer your question. I just don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either.
All right. Do we have any more questions?
There are. I saw some.
Oh, Sherry, people are hoping you're feeling better. Yeah, everybody sends some healing energy to Sherry. She had a terrible headache in her back. And so everybody healing to Sherry, healing to Sherry. Also, everybody, please send healing to Deanne's husband. He's got some health challenges going on. So, you know, Deanne Kushki, Maiden Shiltero, please send her husband healing energy.
Nice. And if you want to get a hold of Sherry, and send her lots of love and light. When Trump checks out, will he be allowed to be placed in Rotunda and buried in Arlington?
Unfortunately, he'll be in the Rotunda. Probably Mar-a-Lago.
I was going to say he'll be rotund, but that's another story.
There you go.
No,
I don't see him in Arlington. I don't see him in Arlington. If he is, they'll inter him and put him somewhere else.
Yeah, it has to be some tax write-off for the family, number one, to put him somewhere. And I'm sure they would probably have, the viewing at the Mall of America. So, some more speed. And also sell parts of that suit too.
Parts of the coffin.
It's a splinter. Like remember they used to have a splinter from the cross. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Don't worry. You'll probably get infected if you touch it. So.
What's the line? You know. It was an old mama's family. It was like, you've got splinters in the windmills of your mind. The windmills of your mind has splinters.
He doesn't have any windows in his mind. He doesn't have a mind.
I know.
Can we answer this one? normally we don't do personal.
Go for it. Go for it. Whatever. Hi, Kevin. Loving vibration, by the way.
But there's just Sean Donnell says, will I get my transplant soon? My kidney transplant. I had to answer it.
Go for it.
I see the number 5. So it could be 5 days, 5 weeks, 5 months. It's not 5 years. I'm not a doctor. This is for entertainment purposes only. But I see a kidney and I don't see it rejecting. So yes, I do see one coming soon.
I'll agree with that. I got the number 7. So hopefully your 5 is right.
Maybe it's 5-7 or 7-5, or could be 75 days or 57 days, or could be 5 o'clock in the afternoon in 7 days, you know.
Or we're having ketchup.
There you go.
Sorry.
All right.
All right. I think we have time for one more. What's up with Jared and Ivanka?
I see them getting a divorce at some point.
They're getting these little boxes to sell the little pieces of suits in.
I think within the next 5 years, they're going to get a divorce. I feel it. Could be 7, but I just see it.
Jared's going to be in jail, and she's going to divorce him.
I see a rift between them.
Entertainment purposes only.
I don't see that marriage lasting. And I'll leave it at that. You know, they're you know, Jared Kushner is working on deals with Donald Trump behind the scenes. We all know that. They're going to try to make Gaza some kind of, like he said, how did he say it? A Riviera, the Middle East. It'll be like, if he does that, it'll be like everything else he touches, it'll go bankrupt.
And that 15-foot gold statue.
Well, how long will that last?
It'll just be plastered with, paint.
Probably styrofoam painted gold.
Yeah. Well, that would melt. The styrofoam would melt. All right. So thank you, everyone. If we didn't get to your question, just means we don't like you. Just kidding.
No, we love you. Thank you for the support.
We love you all. And if you want to get a hold of Mel again, it's meldor.com or call 847-590-5411. If anyone's looking for a reading with me, I do have openings in September. ArthurEaseYourMind.com. And there's also our lovely Cajun gal, Sherry, swampvoices@gmail.com.
Rumor has it the Sherry's the raging Cajun. I don't know.
TMI.
Sherry, are you the raging Cajun?
Sometimes.
Here's You Are the Reason by Callum Scott on Apple Music.
Sorry, we were having a minor or major or something in between incident in the kitchen with water coming out of the ceiling.
Every time
all over the countertops. So
every time I say
we were trying to figure out where the hell the water was coming from.
Every time I say Sherry, I'm saying
my phone starts dialing her every time I hear that. So
hey Siri, is Sherry the raging Cajun? No, it just took me to
shut them up real quick, huh? Well, technically, I'm an alumni from the University of Louisiana at Lafayette, and we are the Raging Cajuns. So yes, I am a Raging Cajun then. So.
See?
With a leak in her kitchen right now. So
well, I don't want to be cocky.
I think what it is the people above us are moving out this week, and when they were moving stuff around, I think the ice maker line probably got disconnected from their freezer, and it's now coming down through the ceiling, down the
The
wall.
landlord from go up there and turn it off. Or is it a condo? Or is
Yeah,
it
I'm getting ready to call maintenance and say,
yeah,
come fix it.
okay. So Arthur, shall we sign off? Because otherwise Sherry's going to have to build an ark. Is that what?
Yeah. We see
I
things
think they
floating
got
by.
most of it. It's not a lot of water, so
Well,
and they're
everyone,
not like using it. So
Yeah, but down there things mold real quick. So
molten.
oh, you just show it water and it gets mold.
All right, everyone. Well, listen, sorry we started a little late, but we made up for it. And we got to go on travels with our Auntie Mel today. And we had a great time. And next
Maybe
week,
Miss Hawaii.
we're on Mel's channel.
next week, my channel. But once again, I want to say thank you to Arthur, Sherry, all of our subscribers, our members. We couldn't do this without you.
Moderators.
Say aloha nui loa. That means I love you very much. Thank you very much. Aloha nui loa to my Hawaiian ohana. Thank you.
And this means thumbs up,
This means shaka.
subscribe, hit the
Shaka
bell.
is an official greeting now. It means kind of could be hello. It means hang loose. It means peace. It means be cool. It's like shaka. Can never get enough shaka. Shaka, never enough shaka. So shaka, everybody.
Sounds fun. All right. I'll see if they have that at the gummy store.
There you go. I need some shaka.
All right, everyone. Thank you so much. Have fun. Subscribe, like us. We love you. And we'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Bye.